Over here stretching and stuff. All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Bay Ragney alongside my very, very good longtime friend. And it's an honor to be next to the one and only Mr. Santa Kringle. What's up, Santa?
Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge Santa. So I'm going to say this right off the bat, Santa, and I would love to hear before we even get into any true details of part of the show. But I'm going to say, I feel this is probably one of the most important nights in the world of professional wrestling. And I also feel tonight really showed the level of distance between the WWE and anybody else.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree. I felt like you to me it had the feel of something special. I just don't know if it delivered it.
Really?
I just thought it was flat, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it was. I guess I was expecting something all night.
Okay.
I was waiting for something big to happen all night. And then when nothing happened, I was kind of like, oh, okay. I'm don't get me wrong, the matches were good. It was a solid show. I just felt it was missing something.
Do you feel it was missing a person, or do you feel it was missing some type of
A moment. It was missing a moment.
moment? Okay. Okay.
I I think they build up my expectations. Like I was expecting maybe like The Rock to turn on Roman Reigns.
I was kind of waiting for that for a second. Yes.
And then I was thinking, oh, maybe Paul Heyman will turn on him.
Again.
And then like I was expecting maybe somebody new to pop up or some big splash, and it just I just to me, I think they built up that something magical was going to happen, and then when it didn't, you were just kind of like, oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, I felt overall the presentation was A plus. I felt the energy in the building was amazing. I also felt um, through the show, I felt I was getting scared because I thought the show peaked very early on, and then I was like, "Oh, we're not getting any of those moments that you talked about." And then I felt it really ended on an amazing match. I'm not going to say moment, but match. But
Mm,
I'd love to run down tonight's show with you.
yeah, let's do it.
All right, the opening of the show, um, new Raw setup in the arenas where they have the all new lighting and stage stuff and everything. They had the ring was enclosed with the screens and like a Bon Jovi concert from 1989. The screen drops and there you have the one and only Triple H to start the show.
Yeah. It, again, I think it was a perfect way to start the show. I will say I think they drug it out a little too long.
Which part? The
The
opening?
Yeah, the opening was drug out way too long.
I agree.
Uh, because you were, I think it was like 26 minutes in and the show hadn't started yet.
Yeah, between the Triple H's and the Rock's opening segment, it was almost 30 minutes.
Yeah. So, and again, I was expecting just something, and you kind of setting the pace, and that's what I think where I kind of started feeling let down.
See, now I thought in that first couple opening segments, I thought the opening thing with Triple H, great.
Mm-hmm.
Nice kickoff, boom, into the Rock entrance. From his entrance, I knew too long. He drug out his entrance a couple minutes too long,
Mm-hmm.
and then his just whole segment, I thought, went way too long.
Yeah, and then the way they were building up the presentation of him being an actual high chief now.
Yeah,
And that's where I started getting like, oh, this is going to be good. Something's going to happen.
right.
And, you know, when it didn't, and I'll be honest, that match to me was flat.
Okay. Now, okay, so the opening match, 30 minutes in, we finally get the opening match. We got Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman
Mm-hmm.
versus Solo Sikoa. And I agree. Like, I agree. I was saying to myself, the first, 8 to 10 minutes of that match
Mm-hmm.
was very flat. If it was not for, and I was texting, I don't think it was with you. I think it was with
No.
J.R. Ryder, or no, or who the hell was I texting with? Or no, it was on Twitter with some ECW fans. I was going back and forth. That once the run-ins started going in from with Jacob and Tangaloa and
I
uh,
love you, Solo.
how amazing is I'm waiting for the crowd chant for when he turns face. I love you, Solo.
Yeah, he's the greatest, man.
He is.
I I am such a huge Jacob Fatu fan.
I love you, Solo. But once the run-ins started going in, I was like, this is a classic Paul Heyman ECW style finish, and that hyped the whole thing. And then when Kevin Owens came in, which was fucking great and perfect
Mm.
for that, to bring in Cody to help build up their thing, which they
Yeah,
don't need help building it up, but it just added so much to that match, and that made the whole fucking match. And that's where I was saying, like, with without those run-ins, that match.
I'll be honest, man. You know what finally hit me? That both Solo and Reigns, they definitely both need people around them.
Well, I mean, I've
They
said
they
for
just
years I don't understand the hype of Reigns. I don't. Without Paul,
uh, well, no, as a heel, I got it. As
okay,
a face, he's as flat as 4-day-old potato chips. I mean, he just there's no, I don't feel anything from him. Once the whole acknowledge me ends, and this match I think was a perfect example of that. He's just not good as a face, you know. He
okay.
he just doesn't generate any heat.
Let me throw this out there too, and it was driving me absolutely fucking insane. Why are you? Obviously, he must have a um, sponsorship deal with Nike because he's wearing freaking white and red Nikes out to the ring. What is it with these guys and their Nikes wearing to wrestle in the ring.
That drives me nuts. That a guy of his caliber is wearing sneakers. Um, you know my feeling.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
I totally, from when I was a promoter, that was one of my big pet peeves. And just, I thought it took he and the oh, I don't know what kind of pants he was wearing, but I would have just thought, a show like this, you should have had the WrestleMania feel with new gear, something to just make an impact.
I thought it was more about his sneakers and the constant back of his underwear with the Nike band showing to
Oh
put that
yeah.
over. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't want to sound like an old man. Pull up your pants, kid.
Right.
Um,
So, go
yeah,
ahead.
I just like I said, I just to me it was a good match, but it didn't live up to the hype of the opening. I was like, oh good, they're gonna start with this, they're gonna start the show hot.
Hmm.
And I think they both just prove that they are not on their own it. I mean,
Let me
at
let me
least
let me
Rain,
let me ask
yeah.
you this. Let me ask you this: between Solo and Roman, who's more it?
Hmm. I would definitely say Roman, but like I said, he's another one of them guys to me that has to have people around him.
I think Solo is more of a complete package.
He is, but he's just not got that wow factor.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, to me, if you really want to be honest, I think Jacob Fatu is better than both of them.
Well,
I just like want to see him more than I wanted to see either of them.
right.
And again, I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm not saying they were. It just to me, I just finally just looked at them both and was like, yeah, these guys ain't as over as I think they are.
Do you think is this the end of this whole head of the table, the the medallion, whatever that thing's called, or do you think it's going to
The
carry on
Ula Fala.
the Ulafala? Do you think now that The Rock is this new baptized somebody?
I I don't know, to be honest with you. I think if this is the end and now we're going into WrestleMania season, where do you go with either of them at this point?
I feel that about the whole roster, not just the Roman Solo whole sequence, but I feel that way about the whole roster. We are in the beginning of January. We're 4 months away from WrestleMania, and
Mhm.
where the fuck are we going towards WrestleMania?
Um, Good question because I don't see Cody. I don't see anyone for Cody at this point. Um,
Which again leads to Cena.
I don't see who. Well, you know what? If Cena wins the Rumble, eh, I don't think you can go wrong with either Cody or Gunther.
I think you can never go wrong with Gunther.
I honestly, I don't think they would do themselves an injustice by letting Cena break Flair's record. I think Cena deserves it. And honestly, I think he would be the draw at Mania at this point. But yeah, I don't see where they have anything for Reigns. I don't know what they're going to do with Cody. I don't know what they're going to do with Gunther. Um, yeah, it's like I don't know where they're going with any of them right now.
Right.
I
Exactly.
don't think they have that long term booking plan at this point.
That's what it totally feels like, which is weird and rare for them.
Hmm.
Um, as we get into it, I'll throw this out here now. We'll touch on this again in a few minutes when we get to that point of the show. I feel, and I said this from the beginning of this match, and I don't know where they're going to go with this now, if they just killed it already. But I thought Seth Rollins and CM Punk could have been the feud of the year, but
Hmm.
where do you go with it now? I don't know.
I and that's the thing. I just think they don't know where to go. I think sometimes, and again, I've been saying this ever since the onset of writers instead of bookers.
Hmm.
They use TV writers, and TV writers are formulaic.
Yeah,
They're used to writing like a 30-minute sitcom, beginning, middle, end, and that's it. They're not used to the long-term storytelling as the bookers used to be. And I think they just sometimes start writing something and don't know where to go with it,
yeah.
or they just don't look into the future and have a big plan. Like this is the first year I can say that I don't know what they're going to do for Mania, except for Cena. Cena is the only thing that they're definitely going to do at this point. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, they can really do something well. I will say this: I think they dropped the ball in not having some kind of surprise tonight.
Agreed.
I think somebody should have debuted. I think they should have thrown all their um balls in a basket and had somebody come out, because you can't tell me that they couldn't have found someone in the entire world of wrestling that would have been like that. Holy crap, Lex Luger showing up on the first night of Nitro moment.
Well, you know what? I mean the one big rumor that was rumored we're obviously getting next week, um, but I don't think that would have that type of splash like you're saying.
Oh, you mean Penta?
Yeah,
I honestly, that's the internet marks would have popped.
right.
Um, I would have debuted him tonight as a surprise somehow. Um, but that wouldn't have been. I mean, it would have been a nice surprise, but I don't think it would have been that pop.
A small detail too I wanted to make note of is why are they using the smaller 18-foot ring now? It seems.
You know what? I didn't even notice it. Now
Yeah, because it was bothering me all night.
I got
Because
the I got the replay going in the background. Um, are
I
you
mean,
sure?
is
Are you
that
sure it's
is
a smaller ring?
yeah, totally. So, like, the only thing I can think of is maybe in the arenas they use the 18 and the stadiums they use the 20.
Um, yeah. I mean, I never really, the difference between an 18 and 20 to me. Um, I'll be honest. A 20, I think is I never liked the 20s. I thought they were too big.
Oh,
What's his
meow.
name? That's Biggie.
Biggie me out.
Uh, um, I mean, I think the 20s are too big because they make the wrestlers look smaller. So that might be kind of aesthetic. It might be an aesthetic thing.
What we got
I just
here?
didn't take notice, to be honest. I'm looking at it now, and you're right, but it didn't really.
My brother Gianni. I hope John Cena doesn't win the Rumble. Makes two of us. Are we going for three?
It doesn't bother me if he does.
Oh, okay.
It's either going to be the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber.
Hmm. Magic Mike Ric Flair says he's held more than 16 titles.
Ric Flair doesn't know what year it is.
So we don't know what we're doing with the people you just stated. It's making us tune in to see what happens because I think they know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, hey, that's a good point, and that could
Oh,
totally be the method of their madness.
Gianni, I agree with you. They know what's going to happen, but I don't think they know what they want. It's kind of like that Tony Khan booking. They know what they want to do, and they're going to do what they want to do. I just don't see where it's, you know, yeah, we're going to watch because we're fans and we're always going to watch. I just would like to have some kind of idea what they're going to do. And this is the first year I can truly say, like, um, uh, sorry, I just can't understand where they're going to, you know, I just don't see where anything's going.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't see where it's going either. So
It
uh,
seems to me like they have no long-term feud to,
exactly, that's what I feel. And all right, let's see. We're
oh Lord, no, go away.
yeah, no, 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 no,
No,
no, no, no.
no.
Penta should have debuted tonight. You know what? I mean, honestly, like I'm okay with him not because then I would have felt like it was really blowing the whole load at one time tonight.
See, my thing with him was I wouldn't have did the vignettes where you knew he was going to debut. I would have just had him show up tonight against somebody. And you know who it would have been? Dominic. Had Dominic run in his mouth and have Penta come out and do a big debut, people would have popped. They would have liked to see him smack around Dominic, and that would have been a nice, like, oh, this is it would have gave it that special feel that I think that they lacked tonight.
Let me see here. Now, this was the one that I thought would have happened tonight, and I was kind of surprised it didn't. Austin should have been there.
Yeah, that's shocked, totally shocked me.
Yeah, I kept waiting for the glass to break.
Yeah, that I think should have happened tonight. I agree with that 1,000%. Um, again, stun Dominic.
Exactly.
Dominic is your perfect foil. Him and the New Day are so hated right now. You could have did something with some of the legends and them. And again, that's that special feel that you're looking for, all
Yeah.
night.
Uh,
So, I mean, that's just and again, I'm not putting anything down. I thought every match tonight delivered. I just yeah, you see, this is what I
yeah,
go through every day.
I'm watching like the cat's looking at the beard. He's looking at you.
Every day at work, this is how I my work day. Like, hey, buddy, I not to make it about me, but I taught the cat how to touch you without claws.
Hmm.
So that's the whole
Yeah.
hey buddy thing. See,
Yeah. That's funny. So all
um,
right, so after that whole opening match,
mhm.
we had John Cena come out and do his segment and promo where
Again,
he
too long.
way too long, way too long.
Yeah, like the way he drug it out, and I'm just like, ah, brother, you could have got to that. It's like you drove around the block to get across the street.
Yeah, totally. And I feel they do that with most of their promos anymore.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm looking forward to the Johnson. And why didn't that start tonight? Like I was waiting for someone to come in the ring and him start the final tour tonight, which again, you missed a golden opportunity. And you know who I'm going to say he could have smacked around? Dominic.
I mean, Dominic's just perfect to get smacked around by everybody.
He's got such a punchable face, but he is a great heel, man. That kid,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought they just called him up way too early, and I didn't think he's turned into like the perfect heel, and he's not a bad worker.
No, not at
And
all.
he is that just perfect foil for all that stuff. And the kid gets it, so he'll do it all. So again, and it's just that's what it just seemed to me like. They had all these big plans. It's like the blockbuster movie that they just bring in all these stars and then realize, oh, we don't have a script.
Tim, what's up, buddy? How the hell are you? Part of the CWO, Tim Mendeville. Are you part of the CWO, Santa?
What is the CWL?
The Chubby World Order.
No, I'm a Hall of Famer.
That's right. Hey, that's right. This Santa is a Hall of Fame Santa. Acknowledge him.
we 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 it's so funny because once that announcement was made, we started doing that at the Santa events. Like everyone would start doing the acknowledgement. It was kind of funny. But I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, let's do we want to get to the second match?
Well, before that, we had another quick segment, which was Logan Paul.
I love Logan Paul. He's another solid heel.
I give the kid credit. I
And
you know,
he delivers in his matches too.
he does. He does not phone it in. He goes out there and he sincerely busts his ass, and that I gotta respect.
The only problem with him is he's too big.
As in,
Just his star power.
yeah,
So you know they're only going to do so much with him. Like if he gets a belt, you know it's only going to be a short-term reign and a limited one at that.
yeah, but that's all it needs to be. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I would like to see him. Actually, I would like to see him and Cody, but he's on Raw now. So I don't know who he's going to feud with on Raw. Unless it's Uso, which would probably be the only one that makes sense. Because I can't really see him drawing money with anybody else.
Questions that do they have the answers to? We will see. But the next matchup was the Women's World Championship with our good buddy Dirty Dom, who has been mentioned 3 dozen times tonight so far. Uh, Liv Morgan with Raquel, Dirty Dom taking on
Mhm.
Rhea Ripley. And as always, I feel these two girls, every fucking time they work, they give a amazing
Mhm.
match that tells such a beautiful story with the help from the outside of the whole feud, the angle, the
Yeah.
match, the psychology. Like they just fucking get it, and it makes me so happy to watch them. But I was shocked as shit. I was on one hand I was super shocked, but on the other hand I wasn't because I kind of figured it would be because of Netflix. But I
Mhm.
was shocked they did the title change tonight and didn't
I
wait
was
for.
not. I actually, that one I saw coming a mile away. Um, they had to have some kind of title change tonight,
Right,
and since that was the only title match,
right.
it was kind of like if you looked at SmackDown because it was the first 3 hour SmackDown on USA last week, and they gave the belt to Tiffy.
Which
Um,
again, amazing, amazing fucking finish they did to that and segment and all. I high praise for the
oh,
booking of that. Yeah,
they kept throwing the swerve on that. I thought that one was done great.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I kind of thought, you know, I mean, of course you can't be 100% sure, but yeah, I saw that coming. Um, and they did it right. They did her overcoming all the odds on her
Hmm.
own and winning the belt. I didn't understand the Undertaker thing at the end with him coming out.
With Rhea,
Yeah.
I mean it was just a spot to throw him out there to get a pop. Like why do the whole gong, but then you got the biker Undertaker come out, which I'm cool either way. I always liked that Undertaker better,
Hmm.
but yeah,
And again, I gotta say it. Uh, he could have came out and maybe cleared house or did something more.
yeah.
It's just like I said, they had every opportunity for that feel good moment, and they just kept um, just bringing stuff. Don't you agree, Kitty? High
Yeah, there
five.
you go. Come on, go yeah, high five, high five, high
She knows how to do it. I don't know. Go ahead. Never mind. All right.
five.
Yeah. So that was a solid match.
Mhm.
Rhea always delivers. She's a star,
Yeah,
and she's
they both
definitely,
are. They both are.
yeah. Liv grew on me as a heel because
Yeah,
she's the perfect for Dom because you can't stand them both.
yeah.
Um,
Dirty living.
but Rhea has delivered as a heel and a face. So, very no complaints about the match, no complaints about the ending. Uh, that was where it should have been and
Hmm.
ended the way it should have.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Nicole, she says, would love Bischoff as a booker, and I say, oh hell no.
No, no, he doesn't know. He's another one that just, you know, he's still living off his 83 weeks.
She also says WWE far superior to AEW, but I do get a kick out of Tony Storm. Now, I do not watch AEW, but I would love to see Tony Storm over in WWE because I feel again more talent being misused and would be a star where she
The
belongs.
Tony Storm that's in AEW now, yes. The Tony Storm that was in WWE, she wasn't as good as she was. Her
Mhm.
creative side has come out. And again, she may be like a Cody Rhodes where she needed to go away
Right.
to like expand.
Hmm.
Um, I'll say this about AEW. If WWE goes out of business tomorrow, they'll still be number two.
They might be number three. Um,
The
Gianni
cat's
says
more over than them.
absolutely. Santa, I feel you. Wait, what's he say? I feel you really love Dirty Dom. Laugh out loud.
I do, man. You know what? That kid can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned at this point. Um,
Do I think he's the greatest worker in the world? No. Do I think he's one of the best heels? Yes,
Yeah.
because he you want to see him, but then you want to see him get beat up. He does his job to the T.
Mhm. Magic Mike says Dom is the best heel WWE has right now.
I would say him and New Day, yes, because just nobody likes any of them guys, man.
CWO, we're taking over. Come on. Get on board, Santa. He's
The
not
cat's on
coming.
board. The cat's CWL.
We got more. Nicole even says CWO for life. Too sweet.
You
See,
CWL. Oh,
you
the cat's acknowledging you.
see, you've been missing out. You've been out making your rounds as Santa Claus, and you missed the whole world of the CWO. Uh, the Cooker, Bob Cook in the house. Not that anyone cares about my opinion, but I do.
I do
Um,
too. I
I
love
thought it
reading
was.
Bob's opinion.
I do too. I thought it was a great show tonight. And Bob, you should be on here
Agreed.
with us. It was a great show tonight. Anyone that doesn't think so, well, if you're watching Netflix, there's thousands of other choices. And bingo, 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 bingo.
So Bob, I want to ask you because, like I said, your opinion is I respect huge. I thought the show was a good show, good solid matches. I just think it was missing something. Do you feel that it hit the mark, or did it just, or was I expecting too much? Was I expecting,
Hmm.
you know,
That's an interesting
I
question right
guess
there.
that was it, man. They built this up in my mind to where and I don't know what exactly I was expecting. I just feel like something just didn't happen. I guess I was waiting for that oh crap moment, and I didn't get it. In my opinion, not saying my opinion is right. I'm just an old man who watches wrestling.
You're a Santa Claus that watches wrestling.
So,
All right,
but
let
yeah,
me
the
see.
women's match was perfect, man. I can't complain about them to deliver.
What's this? So he's on Raw now with it being on Netflix. Now anything is possible. I don't know what that means.
I think because Netflix, you don't have the restrictions of the censors and stuff. I think a lot
Well,
of people
okay.
are thinking,
Well, you just said the keyword censors. There was a couple times that there was like shit bombs dropped, and it
yeah,
was censored out, and I was kind of surprised because I didn't think they would.
you know what? I didn't notice it.
I think it was like two,
I
maybe
thought it.
three, but maybe two
I
points of
thought an
time.
FU chant got through.
Yeah, well, you can't. Why stop the chance, right?
Yeah, I mean, why stop the shit bombs?
Johnny says, all I have to say about Liv is she's an amazing worker, and that ass, that ass, that ass.
Ah, dude, come on, stop looking, grow up now. They're wrestlers, man. Don't objectify them. Rhea,
And there you go. Nicole, glad Rhea Ripley won. But Magic Mike, he's still celebrating. It's Tiffy time.
yeah. Now that's an interesting thing. Now, do they wh- who who's going to be Rhea's opponent or
Right.
Tiffy's? You know, I mean, there's the rumor of Charlotte coming back at the Rumble,
Oh, yeah, of course.
but I mean, who do you throw her with? Do you put her against Rhea, which I think would be the better of the two matches? Um, I don't know.
I don't know. But I do know up next, the next match was Mr. Drew McIntyre versus Jay Uso.
Uh, He's so over.
So over.
He
So
is.
fucking over.
I definitely think and McIntyre I'm a huge fan of.
Me too.
He delivers no matter where you put him. He delivers. He's believable.
I have not seen that guy have a bad match yet.
No, no, and I definitely think he deserves another true run with the title.
Mhm.
Um,
He should be a dominant male force. He's a big guy, can work his fucking ass
mhm.
off. He's a badass heel, and I feel he gets screwed every time, and he should
I
get
get.
more.
I think he's one of them guys that suffers from the the writers not truly knowing what to do with him.
Totally.
Um, but he delivers, man. He comes through every time. Um, no complaints. Uso has grown on me as a competitor. Um, the whole Yeet thing gets on my nerves, actually.
I love it.
Um, but I definitely think
How about what's his name? Who was the dude that was with him? The I guess the rapper or whatever came out. He had a joint. He had a freaking joint, smoking a joint, going through the
I don't know.
crowd.
I just popped because he had the hardcore belt.
uh, Ripley crushed Liv at the end. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're still talking about that. It was because he was on the first Raw, and Ripley showed off, got on the bike, and after she won, and rode off with Taker. All right, Johnny, whatever you're saying, sounds good to me.
Okay. Um, yeah, that match I thought delivered. Them two, you can't go wrong with that. That was a solid uh build up match.
Nicole said she was at Mania, and the pop Taker got was amazing. Yeah, sure, when that gong goes off, forget it.
Oh, I think they blew it today when they accidentally revealed he was going to be there.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that early on. Let's see. So all I have to say about tonight's show is I haven't watched a full episode of Raw in years. And all I have to say is just as I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. That's a nice way to put it.
They did. They pulled everybody back. See, don't take what I'm saying as bad. I don't want anyone to think I didn't like the show. I love the show. I thought this was a solid show. Good matches. I guess in my mind, they built me up to where I was just expecting something so spectacular, and then the fact that I didn't get it kind of let me down. But that's just me personally. Don't like, you know, I like people to have their own opinions, man. Don't go by me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
All right, so the Jey Uso match with Drew McIntyre, it was a nice match. It wasn't. I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, I was expecting a little more. Um,
I don't understand the feud at this point with you got McIntyre, you got basically McIntyre and Owens pissed off about the same thing.
yeah,
And it's
pretty
two
much.
different shows, so I don't understand where they're going with this whole concept of they're mad at anyone who's helped Roman Reigns, but neither of them are going after Reigns.
And if you don't understand, do they understand?
I don't know because it's like you got McIntyre who's pissed off because they teamed with Reigns because he hates Reigns. You got Owens who's pissed off because they team with Reigns and he hates Reigns, but neither of them are going after Reigns.
Yeah, they're going after everybody but Reigns.
That's like you not liking me but wanting to punch my cat.
I think your cat would want to punch you before I'd want to punch you. Nicole says the F-bomb was not censored.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it wasn't.
Magic Mike says, and this is, I totally agree, we're going to probably see Nia versus Tiffy. I would expect that at WrestleMania.
I hope not, because Nia definitely doesn't deliver. I would like to see. I'd be okay with Dom versus Rhea. They
Yeah.
won't do it, but yeah, I don't want to see Nia at Mania. Period.
I mean, but we will.
Mm, you know, I'll leave it at that.
Come on, Santa, eat.
I will not eat.
All right, so after the Jey Uso Drew McIntyre match, we had another surprise. We had the one and only immortal Hulk Hogan come out with Jimmy Hart to a
Was
round of
he?
applause that turned into a round of boos.
Boo, that's what I said, man. He's just not liked anymore. It was almost like even his initial pop wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, he got that initial pop, and it turned quick.
Yeah, even he seemed like he was like taken back by it.
Yeah, and he wanted to get out of there. And even when he turned around and was walking away back through the tunnel, he was like, "Pfft."
Yeah, I don't know what soured people on Hogan.
I do. When he supported Trump.
No, I don't think that's it. I don't
It's
think that's it.
either when he supported Trump or his beer is really bad.
That's it. It's the beer. No,
See?
I just think they see him as like a shill or something. I don't know. He just people because I don't think people care about that whole Trump thing as much. If anything, I think people would have liked him more. I just don't think he's likable anymore.
Well, the thing you got to remember, they were in Los Angeles, California, which
Mhm.
was a Democrat state.
Yeah, but Taker's a Trump supporter too.
True. Good
Yeah,
point.
and um, I just think there's just something about Hogan that just people just don't like anymore. And I don't know, man. But it definitely didn't get the pop they thought it was going to get.
No, not at all. And it's funny, literally, maybe, no exaggeration, 2 minutes tops after the Hogan segment, and I was scrolling through social media, the
Mm.
wrestling websites were already putting out articles about Hogan being booed.
Yeah, because they lived for that, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, what's Johnny say? I didn't like two things. With the entrance that Uso, that ugly ass belt, and the weed cloud. That wasn't cool in my opinion. I was pretty shocked by that because Travis Scott. Okay, um, you're in a arena where there's no smoking allowed, and you're letting this one guy smoke his joint for
With
17,000
kids
people.
around.
Yeah, not cool, not cool.
Nah, no, 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 that wasn't cool. That ugly ass belt was the actual hardcore title. So
Travis Scott getting love everywhere. I love it.
I don't even know who he is.
According to Coco, I think he was with one of the either Kylie Jenner or the other Jenner or one of them. I don't know.
Then I definitely don't know who he is.
Yeah, hey, I don't know. When Rhea Ripley won the title, She should have gotten on the bike and rode off. That's what I thought. I thought she was going to get on the back of the bike and ride off with Taker.
That See, that's what I'm talking about. That's my like, oh, that's nice, you know.
That would have given like a kind of like a passing of the torch to Rhea from Taker.
And it would have. Think about this. She's on the back of the bike holding the belt up as they ride out into the
Yeah.
sunset. That would have been that actually is per. See, this is what I'm talking about. These are the little things that wrestlers, and this is something that Mr. Cook will understand.
Yeah, where is he? He
That's
never answered.
that's the kind of thing that
Oh, here he
when
is.
wrestlers were running it wouldn't have been overlooked. You know, I think that's the kind of thing these writers overlook is that little them moments that
Right.
kind of what I was looking for.
See, you were looking for you moments, and you didn't get you didn't get satisfied because there was not the Santa
No,
moments.
it wasn't even a cinema. I just think they build it up to me to a point where like I was expecting it and it just when I didn't get it, you know. And that's my fault for getting my hopes up.
Nicole, ticket to Vegas purchased. Can't wait. That's awesome. Good for you. Going to
Yeah, have fun with that.
WrestleMania. Absolutely.
That's become like a Super Bowl party, man.
I might end up in Vegas later in the year.
And now they're trying to do the same thing with SummerSlam with the whole week long. I don't know if they're
Yeah,
pushing
yeah.
it. I think they should just keep that specialty to um Mania.
Hmm.
Because
I
I think
agree.
if you try and do it too much, you're gonna
Oh,
it's
it's going to lose its
like
luster.
the outdoor hockey game.
Yeah.
When they did it once a year, it was special. Then when they
Now
started
they do
doing
like
like the same,
half dozen a year.
yeah, and you're just like, it ain't that special anymore. So yeah, but have fun in Vegas, man. That should be um
Uh, Gianni Martello, Hogan looks awful. I'm sorry, he does. He does not. I
well,
mean, what?
he's 70 years old.
Yeah, yeah. The guy's wrestled for 40 plus years.
You know, he's got bad hip. Actually, for his age, he looks great.
Bad hips, bad knees. Sad they boo an icon.
I know a lot of people that have soured on Hogan, and it has nothing to do with his political views. It has stuff to do with his other views that I won't get into,
Hmm.
or stuff he said and done. So, I mean, he's brought it on himself because if you, uh, you know, look at Taker, you know, people love him. Even Flair still gets, you know, a pop.
Yeah. How about, let's see, it's because of Trump. That's what he says. That's what Johnny says. All right. Bob Cook finally answered. Hogan didn't look. Oh, he's talking about Hogan. Hogan didn't look bad at all. The guy's 71 years old, for God's sake.
Yeah,
He's in
I
better
agree.
shape than your average dipshit, especially at that age. Hey,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a dipshit 16 years younger, and he looks better than me.
And let's not forget he's had what his hips replaced, his knees replaced. I, I don't think they're I don't get the immense hate for Hogan. I mean, I get why some people think why he's not their cup of tea anymore. But nobody's perfect. That has nothing to do with it.
Nah. Oh, stop being a Nia hater, Frank. Santa. I'm sorry, Santa.
Stop being a Nia hater. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. She is the perfect wrestler. Fantastic. There you go, Bob. That's it. Explain to me, like I said, that reaction. I don't get it.
Nicole says, I think his racial comments did Hogan in.
I didn't want to say that, but yes, that's kind of what I think. Um, but I'll say this. I go to a lot of sports conventions. Every time Hogan's there, man, he has a line out the door. And with his prices have gone up
I can
immensely
imagine.
since he went with Fanatics.
Mm,
It hasn't deterred him, man. He he gets the same lines as Taker does.
wow.
So, maybe it's just California. They're all nuts out there.
Let's see. Johnny says, no, it wasn't Santa. The hardcore title was a busted up winged eagle, not that belt. Trust me, I know. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. He is the belt master.
Okay, did you so look back and look at it on the table? It said hardcore on it, man. If I could post a picture, I would.
All right. Bob Cook answered on YouTube. I don't know why it didn't show up. This is what happens when stuff don't get booked around Vince's pool. Oh, I don't think stuff was getting booked around Vince's pool anyway. But Bob, I'm going to Vegas for the grand opening of the Evil Knievel Museum sometime this year. When does that open? I'm guessing more towards the end of the year, because I know they're still rebuilding that whole thing, that
Yo,
whole
man,
building.
that's a road trip I'd love to do
Absolutely.
and meet up Bob there.
Dude, have you ever seen the pictures of Bob's old house where he had his own personal Evil Knievel museum and mural on the wall in his house, and Evil came to the house to see it and
No.
signed the wall? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh wow,
Amazing.
man.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Let's see. My WrestleMania weekend is going to be in May. Raise the effing banner. That's right. May 3rd, 2300 Arena. Santa Claus actually will be there as one of the Lumberjacks in the Stetson versus Mike Bruno match, and he's looking
Whoa,
confused.
whoa, 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 whoa. That was before the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
You can't afford me now.
I couldn't afford you then, so it doesn't matter. What it is wrestling fans suck. The comments were made 15 years ago. Get over it, move on. Agreed. Whatever those comments were.
I I knew Hogan was going to be there. I was looking forward to what he was going to do. I don't know. Like I said, the fans, there's this like aura that Hogan ruined wrestling, and what I don't get is there would be. I don't think it would be as popular as it is now without Hogan. You know, I just don't understand.
Hmm.
All right. Tell Gianni, man, he needs to go back and watch it because I'm watching it right now, and that is the damn hardcore belt.
There you go.
Oh,
All
it's a
right.
universal title with duct tape that says, or is it? Now he's got me looking. Cut him off.
All right. Last match of the night. CM Punk takes on Seth Rollins, and they brought the show back to life. I felt great match, going back and forth, doing each other's finishers. I was
Hmm.
actually quite surprised CM Punk went over. Um,
Not me.
no.
Because if you, so this, I thought was the, yes, Johnny, I see now. You're right. Yeah, you happy? Yeah. Wait do you see what you get for Christmas? Um, um, ending it on that match, perfect. I'll tell you, man, Punk has. I'm charging you for an autograph, um, and you're not getting the Hall of Fame inscription. Uh, I think since Punk come back, this is much better than what he was doing in AEW.
Oh, gotcha.
Um,
And I didn't
he
even see that.
seems like he's a lot happier. Him and Seth have delivered. Um, I thought this match was really good. I thought that this was the show stealer. And if you watch, I didn't have a problem with the ending. Watch Seth at the end. He's turning heel. He's going to go full blown heel, which I think is better for him
Hmm.
because I think he's a much better heel than he is a face. Um, and then, like I said, he like him versus Cody or him versus any of the faces is definitely a bigger Mania thing. Yeah, I was kind of shocked too that they did this the way they did it, but you know, maybe they're building where he does the same thing that McIntyre did and just snap and like make Punk's life miserable and then them have some big blow off at Mania.
We will see. We will see very, very soon. Which, as a matter of fact, I have the date written down. Saturday night's main event coming up, January 25th. Then the week after that, we have the Royal Rumble. And then we start going into Mania season and the build up for WrestleMania. What's the show we have before WrestleMania? Do you know?
Elimination Chamber, ain't it?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, because that decides who's going to get the second title shot usually.
Okay.
Um,
There you go.
so what I wanted to say is I thought the overall Netflix production was good.
Did you have any problems
No,
watching it? Because a few people did message me saying they couldn't see it or they were having problems.
yeah,
I
get your
had
internet checked.
Yeah, I had zero problems.
No, I went through. Another thing I liked uh, is that it's available for replay as soon as it's over.
Yeah.
There's no wait for it, so I like that. Um, as we were doing this, I was going back and looking at a couple things. It's the playback has been pretty smooth and reversing it and forwarding it. So kudos to Netflix for working that out because I hated that with Peacock where you had to wait for the replay.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Um, now, is Netflix getting the whole library at some point?
I I'm not 100% sure on this, but from what I understood, I think overseas
Hmm.
they have the whole library, and I think in 2026 Netflix takes over the whole library. It comes off Peacock.
Because Peacock just dropped the ball. Like you don't get they have this huge library, the old territory stuff, and man, I'd love to watch some of that stuff, but it's so inconsistent the way they have it.
Mm.
Like
See, I had no freezing, and it played perfect tonight compared
yeah.
to the Tyson fight, which was a nightmare. Um, this was great tonight.
So I will say this, and I have insider knowledge. If you have Comcast, um, make sure that your modem has been upgraded. Uh, because that might have something to do with the feed. Because they just upgraded all their stuff. So if you ain't got their newest modem, you may not be getting the stream. And also, if you do got Comcast, play it through your Comcast box instead of trying to stream it separately.
Hmm.
Little insider knowledge.
Little tip of the trade.
Yeah. But no, I it went straight through, man. Uh, good picture, good. Like I said, I didn't have no issues with it. Um, and again, when we do these things, man, I want people to know that my opinion is just my opinion. I don't like expect anybody to like think that I know what I'm talking about. I'm just a fan, man. I thought it was a good show. No issues with any of the matches. To me, I was expecting just something really super special, and I don't feel I got it, and that's my fault. I call that the ECW syndrome, where they kept building you up, and then like you were just always expecting more than what they did the show before. And then when they finally got to that peak, the only place to go was to kill somebody, which I think they almost did to you once.
Maybe even twice.
I still remember that show where you got the concussion and don't remember talking to me at the end of the show. It's like, yeah, brother, we were outside for like an hour. We were. The famous top rope power bomb, which once I seen you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen you going up. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Whose idea was that?
Doing what I was told. Which,
Yeah,
somebody I'm feeling like, anyway.
I mean, what was your overall opinion? What?
I thought it was a phenomenal kickoff to the Netflix era.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really fun, solid show, um, dripped with a lot of little surprises here and there. My thing is now, because they kept saying this was going to be a WrestleMania type show, which I personally feel they delivered on. But are you going to deliver a WrestleMania type show every week now?
No, and I don't expect that. No, now that's you just nailed it. You know how they always say that WrestleMania moment?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was waiting for all night.
And they already, teased a couple matches for next week, and I feel like they've already have gone down the slide tremendously.
Well, you can't have pay-per-view shows and this is where I think wrestling suffers from not having the the um the enhancement guys anymore,
Right.
because like every match either is going to be a main event or a mid card. There's just nothing in between anymore to get your interest built up. Um,
Well, how about
and
this?
you can't keep that up forever.
How about this? The PLEs they have their format of 5 matches, which it seems like they rolled with tonight. Is that what the Raw format's going to be? Are we going to have a PLE format where it's going to be 5 matches each week?
Um, I don't know, because like you were telling me about that time thing earlier.
Yeah. Okay. So I saw before Raw went live, Triple H made a statement today stating that, and Bob Cook says the enhancement guys suck.
You know what used to bug me about them? None of them could punch.
Except for the cooker. Um, it seems they're which I kind of like am intrigued by the time format of the show. It's not going to be, excuse me, it's not going to be a set like 2 hour show each week or 3 hour show. It's going to
Mhm.
be a show. So you're going to have, could be, as he said, a 45-minute show or a 4 hour show. You never know what you're going to get each week.
Yeah, that I don't know how that's gonna fly. I mean, I think the show has to be at least 2 hours each week. Um, I'm okay with the 2 hour shows. The 3 hour shows sometimes I think are too much. Although I do crack up that if they keep doing the 3 hours on SmackDown, they just like destroyed uh yo, I gotta before I go on, it's so funny, man. I've seen Bob over the years, before you know, meeting him on here and all. And if you go back and watch his matches, holy crap, that dude threw a punch, man. I think there should be a class because that's my big pet peeve, man, with punches today, where like you just have to, he has to graduate you before you can go in the ring, you know?
Actually, Bob moved back to Florida recently, and I think he's got a school going on down there. Bob, if you want to plug the school, at the same time, if the shows are only 2 hours, are you going to watch something else after the show? What's the difference? It's 3 hours. I mean, I agree. It just might as well go with it. And I don't understand, like, from an outsider looking in, because I don't have cable, so I have not watched Raw in
Hmm.
eons. I have not seen SmackDown, and I kept seeing headlines for the last couple months going back and forth. Ah, Raw's going to 3 hours. Raw's going to 2 hours. SmackDown's going to 2 hours. SmackDown's going to 3 hours.
Hmm.
Like flip flopping every other week. And then again, I saw again today that, or I saw last week, SmackDown's going to 3 hours. But then I
Hmm.
saw today SmackDown's going back to 2 hours. Like, what the fuck is it?
I like SmackDown at 3 hours just because it kills that that awful AEW Friday night show because like no one's tuning into that.
Right.
And I just think that's funny. Actually, you know what? Bob brought up a good point. If it's 3 hours, it kind of takes up your evening,
Yeah.
and you don't have to struggle in that 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, which is when most people go to bed. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd agree with that.
And speaking about going to bed, it's getting late. People are dropping off. I'm dropping off. Got to go
Yeah,
to work in the morning. But I want to thank Santa for hanging out. We should do this, like, try to do this every week if you're up for it.
you can't afford me. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do like a recap show in one night, man, I'd be up for it. Maybe
Oh,
we can do like a.
maybe we can coax the
Oh, it
cooker
did.
to come hang out with us.
Wow, I didn't know it got canceled. I mean, that show, I don't know what they were thinking with that. I think they. So you know what? Let me say something real quick on Bob's point.
Yeah.
I think they thought that they were going to get the people in that third hour for the wrestling, but the show was just so bad. I mean, I didn't see a difference between that and that awful YouTube show they used to have.
Mm.
So, maybe that's what they were thinking. I didn't know it got canceled. Um, but it was definitely a good move on their part because if SmackDown goes to 3 hours, there's nobody flipping the channel for that.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, I'd be interested. We'll talk.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Cooker, Johnny, Nicole, anybody else I missed. There was a few others chiming in. And also, too, make sure you go down below, hit the subscribe button, follow button, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Hang out with us. We'll be back very soon. And do not forget, 2300 Arena, May 3rd. We have WrestleCon in the afternoon and One and Done in the evening. And you'll see Santa.
Don't forget to sign a petition.
Yes, we are at. We got a bunch of signatures in the last 24 hours. We're at 756. We need 244 more.
I am going to wait until you get to 999 and remove my name.
I will kick your ass.
Remember, I used to do that to the pirate
Yes.
when he was all happy because his page was about to hit 1,000, and I'd always unfriend him.
I don't even know
Just
if your name. I'm gonna make sure and look that your name's on there.
It may not be because I may be waiting to be that 1,000th name.
Well, there's somebody who calls me every couple days who's waiting to be number 1,000.
Oh, I'm going to totally rain on that person's parade.
So, all right, on that, guys, have a great night. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And
thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
we'll talk to you soon.